Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. The topic which I am presented: carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide in troposphere. Here is our contents. What is atmosphere? Layers of atmosphere. Define troposphere. Characteristics of troposphere. Importance of a troposphere. Carbon dioxide in the troposphere. Carbon dioxide in the troposphere. Why the amount of the carbon dioxide in the troposphere increasing? What's happening to too much carbon dioxide in the troposphere? Carbon monoxide in the troposphere. The troposphere is important to the life, but having the carbon monoxide in the troposphere. Okay. So let's start with the definition. What is the atmosphere? An atmosphere is a layer of the set of gases surrounding a planet or other material body that is held placed by the gravity of that body. The composition of the Earth atmosphere is about 78% nitrogen, 21% of oxygen, and 0.9% of argon, with water vapor and carbon dioxide and other gases. And we all know that what happens in our Earth and atmosphere. An example of atmosphere is the ozone and the layer which make up Earth's sky as well as sea. You can see that the atmosphere is the one or the other layer of the gases that surrounding the planet. Here is the diagram which has mentioned. At poles at under 4 miles, also where the seasons, low in winter and high in the summer. There's layers of atmosphere, thermosphere, mesosphere, stratosphere, and troposphere. Troposphere is a much near to the Earth. Composition of the atmosphere. Here's the composition. All other gases is 1%, oxygen 21%, and nitrogen is 78%. Gases nitrogen is 78% by the volume percent. Oxygen is the 20.946, argon 0.93, and carbon dioxide 0.37, neon 0.00182, helium and 0.52 like methane and krypton. These are the 0.00. So let's define the troposphere, which is the main topic of my presentation. So the troposphere is the lowest layer of the Earth atmosphere, and it is where the nearly all weather conditions take place. It contains 75% of atmosphere mass and 99% of the total mass of water vapor and water vapors and aerosols. An example of the troposphere is in the layer below. The troposphere. Troposphere is the boundary of the Earth atmosphere between the troposphere, the weather measured winds system, and the cloud formation occur mostly in the troposphere. The lowest layer of the troposphere that touches the Earth is the planetary boundary, the almost weathered hair. Characteristics of the troposphere. Most of the weather phenomena take place in this layer. We all know that this layer is subject to the instance mixing due to the both horizontal and vertical mixture. Temperature decreases when the high and average rate of the per 167 highest above sea level. Troposphere is about 0.7 miles from the Earth's surface, and temperature decreases with the high and average one certain sea and 167 and the height of the sea level. These called the normal lapse. The troposphere extends up to a height of about kilometers, and the equator to decline gradually height of the 8 kilometers. The upper limits of the troposphere is the temperature tropical in the might be low as like minus 580 degree. Importance of the troposphere. Let's see about the importance of the troposphere. There are several important benefits. It all nearly all water vapor. Atmosphere regulates temperature and produces weather. The troposphere forms the lowest level of the Earth as atmosphere extending down the surface of the Earth. This layer also features the heaviest weight of the Earth's atmosphere, layering in comparison approximately 75% total atmospheric weight. At its highest point, the temperature is 12 mile into 12 mile to years. A lowest point that layers the 4 miles above the sea level. It contains the highest temperature closest to base, where the warm temperature after upper retain water vapor and release the form of precipitations. We all know that the troposphere is near to the Earth. Carbon dioxide in troposphere. The increase in the carbon dioxide in the Earth's mid troposphere from 2020 to 2013. The troposphere is the lowest 7 to 10 miles high layers of the troposphere that begins at the surface, and the Earth's instrument detects carbon dioxide in the middle of the altitude between 15 6,000 to 30,000 feet. In 2020, years which collects that data entire globe every day reported that the average concentration of carbon dioxide in the mid-troposphere is 372 parts ppm, which we can say parts per million. In addition, changes the concentration of carbon dioxide on Earth's surface are not always the case with the high altitude. Here's the carbon dioxide in the mid-troposphere, which is they recorded the 2013 monthly average global level concentration is 96.8 ppm. The mid-troposphere roughly miles 5.5 to 9 kilometer altitude. Data sources, airs, and the atmospheric sources and NASA equipped to collect the data. What are the and how much the parts they collect in the Earth carbon dioxide in the mid-troposphere? Why is it the amount of the carbon dioxide in the troposphere is increasing? Here is the question. Why? The reason is that the concentration of carbon dioxide in the mid-troposphere lags behind the concentration found at the surface due to the stick like a gas transported to this height. Soil plants then release the carbon dioxide back into the atmosphere when plants die at the end of the growing season. Carbon dioxide concentration are rising mostly because of the fossil fuels that people are burning of for energy, like burning of oil and like wood, this kind of things. Latest carbon dioxide reading that September 2019 carbon dioxide concentration and moral observatory just how much when they are level. Like in 1960 it was low, then it will create an increasing in 2015 they just checked with the carbon dioxide concentration ppm. What happen if there is too much carbon dioxide in the earth? Let me tell you. Adding carbon dioxide to much atmosphere changes the much heat the earth retain because the distribution of the heat changes how the complex climate works. Global warming causes the changes. Worse, we are adding too much atmosphere too quickly many living things. Top three gases in the Earth's atmosphere, most prevalent gas are the nitrogen, which one is the best I think. Oxygen 21% and remaining 1% consists of argon, 9% as hydrogen, ozone, and the form of oxygen and the other constituents. Temperature water vapor constituents contents in the troposphere decrease rapidly with altitude. Carbon monoxide in the troposphere. Now let's start what happens when a carbon monoxide in the troposphere. Let's see. It is a colorless, odorless, and tasteless gas, monoxide. We all know that. Concentration of the carbon monoxide troposphere is 110, like 100 ppm parts per million, a billion. It's ppb, parts per billion, meaning 100 out of the billion air molecule is carbon monoxide. Although especially clean air have concentration as low as ppm, volcanic gas contain 0.01 and 22% 2% carbon monoxide. Where carbon-based fuels such as coal, wood, and oil burn incompletely or inefficiently, they produce carbon monoxide. The gas is spread with the wind and circulation patterns throughout the lower temperature and called the troposphere. Parts per billion. Here's a monthly derivation and long-term trend 2004 2000 to 2014 that 125 parts per billion that they are measured. Carbon monoxide directly contributes to the buildup of some greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. It reacts with the chemical that would be the otherwise for the methane and ozone and has been to elevate and concentration methane and ozone. What happens if too much carbon dioxide in the troposphere level? We don't know what happens if too much carbon monoxide in the earth and troposphere. Let's say adding more carbon monoxide to the carbon dioxide. Sorry, carbon dioxide atmosphere change how much heat Earth retains because the distribution of heat change how the complex level works. Global warming, like the heat temperature will increase. Worse, adding the too much atmosphere to the quickly manage the living thing like that. There's the importance of the life troposphere. Importance of troposphere to life on Earth. The study of the troposphere is very important because breathe the air in the layer of air. Troposphere process such as the water hydrologic cycle, the formation of the clouds and air, rain, sorry, and the greenhouse effect have a great influence of the meteorology and climate. The importance of carbon monoxide extend will be the beyond indoor environment, indoor and outdoor, and the gas distributed, the transport oxygen and blood leading to heart and health problems. We all know that there's outdoor and indoor with the height and like increasing the more carbon monoxide, there will be the very danger for the health people. Carbon monoxide contributes to the formation of the troposphere ozone air. Another is a pollen with the unhealthy effects. Another carbon monoxide does not cause climate change directly. Its presence affects the abundance of the greenhouse gases such as the methane and the carbon monoxide. What has happened too much? What happens to carbon monoxide in the troposphere? It releases the is when carbon monoxide is released to the environment, it enters air and remain in the atmosphere with average about 2 months. This is a very informative information. Eventually, carbon monoxide reacts with the other compounds in the atmosphere and is converted to the carbon monoxide. The body of the get free monoxide. Why? What happens in our body when there's too much carbon dioxide when monoxide? Sorry. So here's the best way. The best way to treat carbon monoxide poisoning to breathe in a pure oxygen. Their treatment increases the oxygen level in the blood and helps to remove the carbon monoxide from the blood. Your doctor will place an oxygen mask over the nose and mouth and of you inhale. This is a treatment for them when you ingest too much carbon monoxide. It is really dangerous for our health. So this is references my presentations and thank you so much.